Welcome to the Scottsdale Ford 2020 launch plan. My name is Erica Myers, and I'll be your guide as we pave the way for the new generation of drivers. So Scottsdale Ford will be opening in fall of 2020, just in time for that back to school. So they have special finance programs for students that includes first-time buyers along with student loan assistance and special programs for recent college graduates. Now, Ford's are strong in sales with SUVs, crossovers, and trucks, and they're known for being innovative with the many technical features in their vehicles. Now, Scottsdale Ford is offering personalized instructions for people who purchase these vehicles because buyers already know what they want and want to spend on a vehicle. So our campaign is including traditional media such as broadcast television and cable television and radio, and we're also adding in multiple digital products so that we get a good marketing and advertising mix for the area. From the data provided of the NADA 2019 year-end report, Ford is standing strong with a 14.1% of the new vehicle sales and market share by manufacturer. And from the July 2020 NADA market beat, Ford has increased its market share over Toyota. From the same report, we see on the national level that the pickup trucks at 19.8% and the crossovers at 42.1% are going to be our main sellers for the Ford brand. When we look at the share of total dealership sales per dollar, we see that for both 2018 and 2019, new vehicles are the dominant market. However, there is an increase in the service and parts, and that's where more dealerships are going to maintain that repeat customer business. For many dealerships, the repeat customers are through your service labor and parts sales. This is where you can keep that recurring income for your customers and keep them coming back. These are also going to be where your best incentives are going to be placed as well. So when we're looking at the new light vehicle dealerships in Arizona for the total sales of that state, we're talking close to $24 million. And look at that average per dealership, almost $100,000. We're at a wonderful 96,545. Let's see how we can get Scottsdale Ford to exceed that average per dealership. What are the challenges for Scottsdale Ford? Our sales goal is 100 sales per month, which means we need to bring in 165 prospects a month to keep up with our closing rate of 60%. And how do we keep up with these innovative millennials and attract them to come in? Well, that's where our online and digital presence is extremely important because our buyers are shopping online for the best price and availability. And they're usually narrowing it down to like 2 or 3 vehicles. They're coming into our dealership just test drives. We need to convert these test drivers into consumers by making sure that our salespeople know the information about that car. They need to be just as smart and smarter than the buyer because our competition are all of the dealerships in the area. So we need to make sure that we're up to par and we're bringing the best price and availability to these vehicles for our online buyers that come in and buy. The major challenge of Scottsdale Ford is going to be attracting millennials. They are the future of any dealership because they're going to age and they're going to purchase from who they trust and have brand loyalty with. Now, they will have substantial college loan debt, and many of them will still live with their parents and rely on their advice. However, we need to be providing solutions so that they know and trust us to be an alternative, to be that solid solution from Uber and Lyft. Here are some of the basic stats for millennials in the Phoenix area. For the Phoenix, Mesa, Scottsdale area, millennials that are here make up a total of 25% of the population. Also, look at that number of share of millennial recent movers. These are millennials that are moving to the Phoenix area. That's 43%. That's amazing because that's a lot of millennials that we need to sell at Scottsdale Ford. And with that median income of $52,700, that's a lot of buying power, and they need to be spending this at Scottsdale Ford. Here are some of the reasons that millennials are moving to Phoenix. The housing is affordable. There's a unilateral acceptance of the digital economy, meaning that they're paying in digital cash and they are being paid in digital cash. The weather in Phoenix is unbeatable. You have 300 days of sunshine out of 365 days of the year. There's a different type of nightlife. There's healthy living. There's plenty of trails, parks, outdoor activities for anyone looking for something to do. Plus, there's an influx of jobs and businesses that thrive on the social diversity that is in the Phoenix area. Here are some of the marketing ideas for the Phoenix area that we had to get customers into the dealership. Attending local festivals. Bring one or two of the vehicles out and let people sit in them, test drive them, anything that kind of gets those gears going into purchasing at Scottsdale Ford. There's an online scavenger hunt where they can browse through the Scottsdale Ford website and pick up clues that can help them enter into a contest and receive a discount or personal swag. There are other discounts that you can give, as well as giveaways of personal items to kind of detail their cars and make them more customized for them. But two of my favorite we'll take a look at on the next couple of slides. Scottsdale Ford could be very innovative if we did an interactive mural featuring one of the Ford vehicles along with the hashtag Scottsdale Ford to interact with. This way, potential consumers can take pictures with this mural and post it on their Instagram or their Facebook or on their Twitter. And it kind of gets that name of Scottsdale Ford out there. So people say, oh, yeah, I saw this mural. This was at Scottsdale Ford, but I want to take a look at that vehicle. So there's how that interactive mural can help Scottsdale Ford. And always, there's a great Instagram contest where you can have a special hashtag and they can enter the win using that hashtag. So you can actually measure how many people are participating by using that special hashtag. One of our other challenges are, what are competitors doing? Well, I took a look at some of what our competitors in the Phoenix area, in the Scottsdale area, were doing. So it seems as though a lot of people are doing the Ford summer sales events. Some dealerships are doing specials on the Ford Explorer. Here's Camelback Concierge with purchasing a vehicle online where it just makes it a lot easier, and the solution is it saves time for that customers. So here are some of the ideas that your competitors and some of the ideas that you have to beat that your competitors are doing. With Phoenix and its diversity, one of the creative ideas that we came up with was to have a group of young, diverse females in one of the Ford SUVs. They could be driving from the city onto a dirt trail, arrive at a campsite. Um, there could be diverse males as well who help unload the vehicle. And the SUV could sit beside the lake, or the crossover can sit beside the lake as the group begins to play in the water. Now, the whole thing about millennials is finding your identity. So here's where the announcer is saying, find yourself in a Ford from Scottsdale Ford. This can also translate into radio with the announcer talking about the SUV features and finding yourself at the Scottsdale Ford in a Ford SUV. Here are some of the top 10 Phoenix Scottsdale stations for traditional media. For radio, there is an eclectic and very diverse mix of stations, so you can pretty much pick and choose which station you want to advertise on. Also, we have the top 10 TV stations for the Phoenix, Scottsdale, Arizona area. If you look at number 3, it is a PBS station, which means this is a nonprofit. Our advertisements will change from a call to action to more of an underwriting. So sponsoring a show or a segment on this station is pretty much the same as advertising without the call to action speech. In addition to having a website of scottsdaleford.com, it would also be good to have a Facebook page, a Twitter account, an Instagram profile, a YouTube channel, and I also included TikTok because it's very innovative for brief informational and entertaining clips. In addition, with the social media handles or usernames, we do want it to be congruent with the Scottsdale Ford name. So we want that branding to be across the board for Scottsdale Ford and possibly have Scottsdale Ford on each of those social media accounts. What can our firm provide for you? Well, our service pledge includes a social media calendar to make sure we're doing our execution timeline in an orderly fashion. We're also deadline oriented, so most of our campaigning will be done way ahead of the scheduled deadline because we want to make sure that everything is great with you before we post it or before we run that advertisement. We will have weekly meetings and conference calls just to make sure that everything is on the same page. There are campaign reports to let you know how your campaign is performing. We have timely adjustments of websites, social media accounts, anything like that. We do have social media reports because hashtags do mean business. And we will maintain a contact information list and database for you to access for potential prospects, also for pursuing other ventures with festivals, coordinators, and other event planning. So let's begin now. We're going to be working together. We're going to create an extraordinary campaign, and we're going to use these traditional and interactive medias because we're going to be just as innovative to drive these customers from that screen and into this dealership for purchasing. So let's begin now.